guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match and Barcelona lose at the Camp Nou to Bayern Munich by 3-0. We're back in 2012 now. All of a sudden it's the same result, and I tell you what an absolutely poor performance in Barcelona overall. We couldn't compete, and Bayern Munich were just world class and tactically and physically on the pitch. They were just miles better than us. The starting lineup for this match is on the screen right now, and Koeman went with Ter Stegen in goal. A back three of Araujo, Pique, Eric Garcia. Wing backs being Jordi Alba and Sergi Roberto. A midfield three of Busquets, De Jong, and Pedri. And a front two of Memphis, Depay, and Luke De Jong. And I'll tell you this right now for free. This was absolutely the wrong formation, the wrong tactics, and the wrong personnel as well. The team performance overall in this match, I'm going to give it a rating of 5 out of 10. I think in the first 6 to 10 minutes, we looked very, very solid. But afterwards, it was just Bayern Munich, absolute domination. I think we were unlucky in the first half to go 1-0 down after that deflected goal. I think, a 0-0 at halftime would have been a fair result, but of course, we were under pressure the whole entire first half. I can't remember Barcelona having a shot in this game. I think Coutinho had that shot in the second half. That's it. But in the second half when we came out, we were absolutely dreadful. I was speechless. If you go look at my live watch along, I was quiet because I had nothing to say. The team performance in that second half was dreadful. And you know what? Some of these players maybe need to hang up the boot. You're looking at Busquets, Jordi Alba, Pique, Roberto. They're just, leaving those good players on the bench. Your Alejandro Baldes, your Gavis, your Nico Gonzalez's, those fresh young players that can come off the bench and come into this team and give us some liveliness in that starting lineup. I think with Pique, Busquets, Roberto, Jordi Alba, they're going to get a lot of criticism in this match, especially in the comments down below. I'll tell you that for sure. But overall, for the team rating, I'm going to have to give it a 5 out of 10, a very, very poor performance. Let's now get into the player ratings. Start with the goalkeeper, Ter Stegen in goal. I'm going to give Ter Stegen a 6 out of 10. Sorry for the picture, by the way. It's not on purpose. It's the only picture I can find of Ter Stegen during this game. I'm going to give him a 6. I think he did some great saves, some excellent saves from Lewandoski in that second half from point blank range, as well as Leroy Sané in the first half. 3 goals, deflection, off the post rebound, off the post rebound. I don't think you can really blame Ter Stegen. I think, from the last game time we faced Bayern Munich, there was a big improvement on Ter Stegen's part. So overall from him, I would give him a 6 out of 10. Into the 3 center backs, we'll start with Araujo on the right-hand side. I'm going to give Araujo a 7 out of 10 and my man of the match. I think in that first half, he was superb. Absolutely bullied Lewandoski, Musiala, Muller, Leroy Sané. He was absolutely fantastic. In the second half, there was a drop-off, though. I think, some misplaced passes. He can hold the line for that offside in the second goal. But I'm not going to criticize him too much because, of course, we're coming to this game, well, the underdogs in this game 100%. But overall, Araujo, for sure, my man of the match, and he will get at 7 out of 10. Definitely should be the starting center back alongside someone for this Barcelona team. He was superb. Next up is Gerard Pique. I'm going to give Pique a 6 out of 10. Now, again, similar to Araujo in that first half, was very, very solid. In the second half, there was a clear drop-off, but I think in the second half, he was better than Araujo, making some good challenges, making some run against Alphonso Davies, getting those last-second tackles for a corner kick or a throw-in. Now, Pique has come out with some words after the game. I'm not going to do a match analysis on this game. I'm not going to waste my time making that kind of video. Pique came after the game saying that it is what it is. Now we are who we are. We are going to end up competing, although it will be a difficult year. The game teaches us that Bayern Munich are superior, but very young players have come out who must be the future of this club. I would also like to remind people that Sergi Roberto is not a fullback. He makes sacrifices for playing there. People are free to express their opinions, but personally, those who whistle him hurt a lot. Okay, yeah, okay, fair point. He's not a fullback. Then why in God's green earth is he playing there? Can someone please explain to me? He's not a fullback, but he's playing there. It's like Gerard Pique. You can play as striker, but you're not a striker. If we put you as striker and you play like shit, we're going to say that. So you're telling me Roberto makes some sacrifices to play at fullback. Why'd you sell Emerson? Where's Mingueza? There are other options. Switch the formation, yada, yada, yada. I don't care. Roberto does not have to play at fullback. We're getting Roberto's player rating in just a second. Ends off by saying that we have people like Ansu, Usman, and Koeman who can help us a lot, again, with some excuses coming in there. Back to the player ratings, though. Overall, I would give Gerard Pique a 6 out of 10. And the third and final center back was Eric Garcia. I'm going to give Eric Garcia a 5 out of 10. I mean, it hit his butt for the goal, but I think other than that, he was very, very poor. Got chopped off around the hour mark or so in that first half. Gave away some free kicks in a dangerous area as well. Of course, his butt hit off for the goal, but you can't really blame him. Again, poor defending from him. Instead of him turning his back to goal, should be attacking the player. But what can you do? I mean, he's poor. I'm going to admit it. 5 out of 10 from me. Into the wing backs now. We'll start with Jordi Alba on the left-hand side. I will give Jordi Alba a 5 out of 10. I think he was a below average today. Defensively wasn't that great. Attacking-wise wasn't that great. But he was putting in some good crosses in the box. But to the wrong De Jong. He kept on crossing it to Frankie De Jong when Luke De Jong was, tracking back, trying to, taking him half an hour to run the half length of the field. So Jordi Alba's crosses were good. They were in dangerous areas, but of course not to the target man, the one who's supposed to be scoring those headers in Luke De Jong. He gave it to the wrong Frankie De Jong. Overall, went off injured as well. I think he'll be out for a couple of weeks for sure. Overall from him, I would give him a 5 out of 10. The other wing back was Sergi Roberto, 3 out of 10. He was just shit. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Just awful. I mean, he was our best player in the first 3 games of the season. 2 goals, 1 assist. Where was he playing? In the midfield. I know what I'll do. I'll knock his confidence, let him get booed by the Camp Nou. I'll chuck him back on the right wing just because Sergio Dest is not fully fit. Mingueza, you have other options, my guy. You don't even have to play a right back. I don't know, play Pedri there. I don't care. Anyone at right back is better than freaking Sergi Roberto. Even Yusuf Demir, play him as a wing back. We did that with Ousmane Dembele under Valverde. I think Koeman did it as well. Do that with Yusuf Demir. I don't care. Roberto on the right-hand side, right back, right wing, I don't care. Not good enough. He was absolutely dreadful. Can't say much more. 3 out of 10 for me. Into the midfield now. We'll start with Busquets in the CDM position. I'll give Busi a 5 out of 10. I think, you know what? He made some good passes, some good interceptions, a nice job of the shoulders, but again, did not really connect with the play. I think the midfield was very, very poor. He got outrun by Musiala so many times as well. It's just his lack of pace, in my opinion. I think if he had some pace, he'd be, decent and we can, play him throughout the season. But with that lack of pace, he relies more so on his intelligence, so that'd be working good against, an Eibar at home, I don't know, a Levante at home, something like that. But to a high-intensity team like Bayern Munich, he just does not work. Overall, for me, I'll give him a 5 out of 10. Left-hand side of the midfield was Pedri. I'll give Pedri a 5 out of 10. I mean, he made some good turns, some good runs, but other than that, he was quiet. I wouldn't say he was poor in a sense. I would say he was just quiet. I think I remember 1 run in the first half, 1 turn in the second half. To be honest, I forgot he was even playing. So I wouldn't say he was bad, but it was very, very quiet in this game. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. On the right-hand side of the midfield, it was Frankie de Jong. I'll give Frankie de Jong a 6 out of 10. Now, the reason why I rated him higher than Busquets and Pedri is because he was involved. He was tracking back, making some interceptions, running in the box, running back to defend, getting a lot involved in the play, connecting with Memphis, Roberto, Jordi Alba. He was all over the pitch. I think if you look at his heat map, it'll be just yellow all over. I think, I'll give him that extra rating for his hustle, his, running, all that stuff. But again, with everyone else in the team, he was, I would say average in this game. So I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Into the forwards now, we'll start with the left forward in Memphis Depay. I'll give Memphis Depay a 5 out of 10. Again, similar to, Pedri. He was just very, very quiet. I wouldn't say he was poor. Got 1 or 2 touches. I don't even think he had I don't even, no, he didn't. He did not have a shot in this game, Memphis Depay. As you know, the leading person at Barcelona, the talisman, the guy with, the torch in front of him, not having a single shot at the Camp Nou in the Champions League game. Again, it's not because of him, it's because of the whole team. That's why I get the team a 5 out of 10, so I'm going to give the same to Memphis Depay. He had some good trickery in the second half, some nice flicks here and there, but again, very, very quiet. Gets a 5 out of 10 for me. And lastly, the right striker was Luke De Jong, 4 out of 10 for me. I never thought I would see someone slower than Busquets. We found our man. I think, honestly, I'm fat, right? I think I can beat Luke De Jong in a race. I really do. I mean, first of all, he's slow. Second of all, he did not fit this game whatsoever. I think the only thing he was good in this game was from Ter Stegen's goal kicks. He was controlling them, heading them very, very well. Big thumbs up for me, because of course Ter Stegen always lumps it up. No one can get a touch, no one can control it. In that sense, Luke De Jong was superb. He would header it easily to Jordi Alba, control it to Busquets. He did that very well. Everything else is poor. Runs in the box, controlling the ball, passing, all poor. I mean, when Koeman says he's a plan B, he literally means he's a plan B. Come off the bench against Eibar, scores a goal, that's what he's good for. Starting against, a world-class team like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Chelsea, 4 out of 10 for me today. Very, very poor on his Barcelona debut as well. And lastly, the manager, Ronald Koeman. I'm going to give Ronald Koeman a 2 out of 10. Koeman out, Koeman out, Koeman out. I cannot fathom what is wrong with this guy. Thanks to me, the club has a future. My arse. First of all, I will hold my hands up. Go with the 3 at the back from the start. Luke De Jong up front, okay. where were the changes? He did not change anything until we were 2-0 down, first of all. Second of all, what I will criticize him for in the starting lineup is starting Roberto on the right-hand side. We were hoping for Mingueza, maybe, you know, an injured Des would have been better probably as well. I think with the starting lineup, we can all be, you know, content with it. I think there's two problems. Number one, not starting a left-footed center back, but again, it's okay. It's the right wing back, and Sergio Roberto was absolutely poor. Secondly, the tactics with the three at the back. Park the bus counterattack. That's what we did at home, at the Camp Nou. Park the bus counterattack. I mean, when we were counterattacking, we only had Luke de Jong, and we all know how that went. So it's very, very poor from Ronald Koeman. I do have his quotes right here after the game. The system, we had 3 forwards available. Of course, we would like to have competed better, but this is what we have, and it is what it is. There are guys with a great future, those who are 18 and 20 years old, and compared to their players, there will be a difference over time, will be less. Which is that Sergio Roberto? I don't like the public to do that. Everyone gives their best. I can't say anything about the team's attitude. We have a squad with a very young players, but in 2 or 3 years, we will have a very good team. Hopefully, you won't be here in 2 or 3 years. You know, Juan Laporta came before the game saying, oh, no matter what, I'm not going to sack Ronald Koeman. He's out for, you know, dinner with Mateo Alemán or lunch, whatever. I told you guys, what did I tell you guys? Back in April, I think Koeman will stay, and I think he'll get sacked around December, January, February time. I think Juan Laporta would sack him right now. The problem is, there's no one bloody available. All we have is what? Antonio Conte and Jordi Cruyff. That's it. Koeman is on a very, very thin line. I think Juan Laporta and him are trying to have some tensions. You know, he's coming out saying, oh, in 2 and 3 years, we're going to be great. We want the now. This is Football Club Barcelona. How in God's green earth are we losing a Champions League game at the Camp Nou by 3-0? It's not because, you know, the team was shit. The team was shit, but you set them up to be shit. 3 at the back, Roberto at right wing back, 3 right-footed center backs. Again, you had 2 forwards. It would make sense to go 3-5-2. Why not put Yusuf Demir up there? I think you can see Luke de Jong from the first half, chop him off at halftime, bring in Yusuf Demir. That's what I would have done. First sub in Roberto as well. Not thinking on the spot. His in-game management is so shit. It's unbearable. He's not gonna succeed. He won't be here this long. I think even if he wins the league, he should get sacked. If he wins the Champions League, I'll keep him just cause you know what, fair play. He has to win the Champions League for me to keep the job. If he wins the league, Copa del Rey, Spanish Super Cup, I don't care. You're off. You are not the coach that we need, playing 3 at the back at the Camp Nou, parking the bus, counterattacking. This is not the setup. What do you say at the press conference? We can hurt Bayern Munich. We know at the Camp Nou, it's a fortress. Our fans are going to be back. We can hurt them. They killed us. They absolutely killed us. He won't be here this long. The question now is when will he get sacked? Not if. It's a question of when he will get sacked. Overall, Ronald Koeman for me gets a 2 out of 10. Absolutely shocking from him, from the tactics, from the lineups, and as well as the late substitutions. So that's my match review for Barcelona versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, and of course, leave your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to know, of course, is your player ratings, and of course, your manager rating for Ronald Koeman, and your thoughts overall on the performance. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.
Go, 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 go.